This is Laura from livevisions.com, and this is an impromptu video. I just wanted to talk to you guys about the moon and what the moon means in each of signs, okay? So, the moon is your emotions and how you handle your emotions, right? The moon can also talk about, for a man, his future wife, and whether you're male or female, it can talk about your mother, okay? So, let me fix my table here. It's kind of a weird table. So anyhow, moon in Aries, right? Mom could have been a disciplinarian with the moon in Aries. She could have been strict. She could have taken no BS. Mom could have been like, I ain't playing, you know. People with moon in Aries, they can get angry quickly, but they can also forgive quickly, okay? Moon in Aries. So I will say, with a moon in Aries type of person, if you're dating somebody who is moon in Aries and you're a wishy-washy person and you can't make up your mind, this is going to piss them off. Moon in Aries people act quickly and suddenly. They make quick decisions, and sometimes they regret those decisions, and they can act quickly and be like, oh my god, oh crap, what did I do? But sometimes moon in Aries people, I want to say, they're not ones to him and haw. And if you ask a moon and Aries person, oh, what do you think about this, usually have a quick opinion, quick response. And if they're dating someone who is kind of like on the fence, can't make up their mind, they'll really piss them off. I'm just telling you that much. Moon and Aries people also, trying to think, if you're dating a moon and Aries person, they could get mad quickly. They do forgive quickly, so they don't stay mad for a long time. They don't stay mad forever. Their mother could have been very much a disciplinarian. They could be like emotionally wanting to be entrepreneurial. Like, what makes them feel good is directness. They like feeling direct. They like feeling in charge. They like feeling, maybe they like to do entrepreneurial pursuits, depending on the house it's in, right? Their future wife could be a very direct type of person. Like, she ain't playing. She's a very direct type of gal, you know. So anyway, so that's for the man, you know. Whether you're male or female, your mom could be very much a disciplinarian. And sometimes moon and Aries parents, depending on the house and stuff as well, and depending on the conjunctions, the parent could have been abusive, okay? You got to be careful with that one. So, moon, and it's not, every moon in Aries doesn't always have an abusive mom, but some do. Moon in Taurus is very stable moon. This is somebody who's very in control of their emotions, right? Moon in Taurus is very practical. This is somebody who is in control of his or her emotions. And this means that the man's mom could have been stable, secure for him. The girl's mom could have been stable and secure, depending on the conjunctions and the houses it's in too. It can change things, okay? But in Taurus in general, right? Now, it can be for the man, his future wife. He's looking for someone who's stable, who's secure, right? It's going to be hugely important to him. What makes him feel good, right? What makes a person with moon in Taurus feel good? Sensual things, food, things that are... you know, to make him feel secure, stable. I want to say, because Taurus, the senses are heightened, things that are soft, things that are plush, things that are smell good, look good, you know, it makes them feel good, you know what I mean? Depending on the house it's in as well, it tells you their greatest need, what the greatest need is of a person with moon in Taurus, right? And one of the hugest things is security and stability, right? And the other thing is sensuality, okay? Sometimes they say people with moon in Taurus, because Taurus is I acquire, right? So some people with moon in Taurus say that they can be hoarders, you know. Not all people with moon in Taurus are hoarders, okay? But they do like things. They do like to have things, you know what I mean? Because they do rule the second house, right? So they do like security is a huge thing. And they want their partner to be secure as well. So they're looking for security within that partnership as well. Whether it's financial or just emotional, it just depends. You know what I mean? It depends on the house it's in, and there's conjunctions. There's a lot going in. I'm being very general. Okay. If your moon is in Gemini, okay? People with moon in Gemini tend to be very indecisive at times. They can see like, oh, well, you know, I kind of like this, but I kind of feel this way too. And if you ask them to make a decision, they'll be like, I don't know, I'm gonna have to think about this because I kind of feel this way, but I like this too. Gemini, Moon and Gemini people could be very, I want to say indecisive emotionally, but their parents, like their mother, could be very bright, very intelligent type of person, right? Because Gemini rules the mind, is their erogenous zone, right? So these people really do value intelligence. If you're married to somebody with the moon in Gemini, they could be indecisive, but they could be very intellectual type of person. They may like learning, maybe learning and learning new things and speaking about new things and education and just they crave knowledge. These people can get bored easy, want to learn more new things. Communication could be important to these people because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, all right? So these people on an emotional level may feel good if they're communicating about what they're feeling, right? I want to, I may be indecisive, but I want to communicate about what I'm feeling. I want to talk about it. Depending on also what house it's in as well. For the man, like I said, the future wife could be a very intelligent type of person. She could see many sides of a situation. She could know about many subjects, being very knowledgeable. So this isn't going to be somebody who's stupid. If a man has his moon in Gemini, I'm going to say he's looking for a woman. If she's all beauty and no brains, he needs somebody who can mentally, emotionally charge him. You know what I mean? He's going to want somebody who's emotionally on the same page as him. Not on the same page, but somebody who's intellectual with banter, somebody who's really witty, right? Okay. So somebody with their moon in Gemini, the only drawback is I would say they could be really indecisive and this could drive some people a little nuts. So if somebody has their moon in Cancer, now these are the Betty Crockers of the zodiac. People with their moon in Cancer want to nurture, want to take care of everybody. They want to be everybody's mommy and nurture and love them and feed them, and that's that sign, okay? So if you're a male or a female and you have your moon in Cancer, your mother was very nurturing, and you could have been this kid who had this insatiable thirst for mommy's attention, okay? Maybe drove mommy nuts. And I'll be honest with you, they say God kind of, they say paybacks can be a bitch sometimes, I have my moon in Cancer, and my mom said I was on her hip till I was like 5 or something, And my daughter has her moon in Cancer, and it is like I'm drained sometimes because she's this emotional this thirst for attention, and it's an incredible for thirst. I mean, she can never quench that thirst. It's always I need more, right? And people with their moon in Cancer do need to be nourished. They do need nourishment. They need not just physical nourishment through food, but emotional nourishment, okay? So these people show their emotions. So the way they love is holding hands, kissing, hugging, loving, and they appreciate all that, right? So somebody who has their moon in Cancer needs this. They need that show of affection. That is not a want, that is a need, okay? If you're a man and your moon is in Cancer, your mother was probably loving and doting on you and could have been very nurturing. Now, it depends on what house and if there's conjunctions, okay? This is general, so I don't want to hear a comment, that's not me. But your wife, your future wife with moon in Cancer could be, if you're a man, it could be somebody who's very nurturing, very loving, wanting to feed you, wanting to make you feel emotionally fulfilled and happy. She may be very the type, a cuddler, wanting to hug you, give you public displays of affection, all of that. You know what I mean? So moon in Cancer is really, it's a nice moon to have, especially if you're a man. Your mommy was nice to you and loving and showed you how to be nurturing and loving as well. So it's nice, and you want a woman who's just like that. So if you have your moon in Leo, well, you were the apple of your mom's eye. You were the center of her universe, the center of attention. Again, it depends on what house and the conjunctions affiliated with it, but normally moon in Leo is like, whoa. And you could have been a very charismatic child, like doing shows and like, look at me, moon in Leo is the person, look at me, right? So even as an adult, actors could have moon in Leo. You could be very charismatic. You could be very animated type of person, right? Where people just are drawn to you emotionally, like, oh wow. And you may like emotionally, if somebody treats you like second best instead of number one, it ain't gonna work. Emotionally, you need to be number one, right? Emotionally, you need to be validated emotionally. Otherwise, you need to be number one, or ain't gonna happen. So men who have moon in Leo are usually looking for a wife that makes them number one, makes them feel like the hostess with the mostest. And usually this woman could be very extravagant, very beautiful, and when she walks into a room, people notice her, right? But what does this say about this person emotionally? What do they need emotionally? They need recognition, right? So Moon and Leo people need to be noticed. One, they need recognition, and a lot of times they crave the spotlight, which a lot of times people with Moon and Leo tend to go into acting or something like this because they could be very animated, right? Now, whether you're male or female, your mother could be beautiful, very much the center of attention. She could be animated herself, right? And in the spotlight could be as well, you know. So, and it doesn't mean that everybody's moon, who is Moon and Leo, their mother was famous, but, you know, it could be, you know, she was, maybe she was very beautiful, or maybe she was in the spotlight in your neighborhood, or wherever you grew up, could be. Now, if you have your moon in Virgo, right? Virgo is the type of person, and let's talk about how we deal with when you're emotionally upset, right? People who are emotionally upset and have moon in Cancer tend to, just to go backward a little bit, sorry. People who are upset, okay, let's go. Moon in Aries can get really pissed off, all right, when they're upset, right? Moon in Taurus kind of like shut down. They don't say much, they kind of shut down. Moon in Gemini people, when they're pissed off, they might want to talk about it. Talk, 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 right? Moon in Cancer people go in their shell. They want to just go into the refuge in their home and just like chill out. Like, I'm going to be away from society. I need my alone time when they're upset, okay? I want to be surrounded by my family, right? Moon and Leo people, maybe they want to go out and have a good time. You know what I mean? I'm just going to forget about this. I'm going to go out and have a good time. Screw this, you know? He's a fire sign though. When they're pissed, they can be fiery, so let's not forget. It's not like that they're not going to get pissed about it, but it's kind of like, let's say you cheat on a Leo. A Leo's not going to, especially Moon and Leo, is not going to be put up with being cheated on, number one. And number two, be like, yeah, okay, well, there's another they have confidence, you know, emotional confidence. So they'll be able to find somebody new rather quickly. So they may just go out. Like, I'm going out. Screw this person, you know, male or female. Now, if you have your moon in Virgo, all right, people with moon in Virgo, their mothers could have been very analytical, very technical, very detail-oriented, and maybe too critical of them in some way, shape, or form. Sometimes, okay? People with moon in Virgo, if you have your moon in Virgo, sometimes if you're a man, you want a woman who, she could be, on the negative, she could be a little critical, analytical, but she could be also of service to others. Maybe also people with moon in Virgo, your mother could have been of service to others in some way, helping others in some way, liking to help others, doing little things to let others know that she cares, right? Virgos, when they're upset, they will look at a situation forward, sideways, and backwards, right? And what do they do when they're upset? They want to maybe talk about it. They may, because they're also ruled by Mercury. So these people, I want to say, you know, maybe they could be hard on themselves because maybe mom was hard on them. So they have this kind of, I need to be a perfectionist mentality. Some of them, not all. Emotionally, it feels good for them to do things for others. Like, I like to just do things for you. I want to help. I like to do the little things that show I care, you know. The tedious things that other people don't like doing, usually Virgos do. Like, they're really good organizers, right? Maybe they're like, oh, I just organized your closet, it was no big deal. Or I just got all your laundry, it's no big deal, you know. They're kind of like one of those type of people, right? But they can look at a situation forward, sideways, and backwards and analyze the shit out of it till it's like beaten up. You know, that's one drawback with Moon in Virgo. But I would say if they're upset, they may want to talk about things or analyze things to death. could be as well. Well, did I do it wrong? Well, maybe I should have done it this way, or maybe it could have been that way, or maybe it was that scenario and this scenario. They could look at it that way. So if you have your moon in Libra, oh my lord, moon in Libra. If you have your moon in Libra, your mother could be very balanced, very classy type of person. Very, you could dress her up and go and take her out, and she knows how to. She presents herself with grace and tact wherever she goes, right? The kind of woman you're attracted to is also someone who's classy and graceful. Again, there's conjunctions. If there's conjunctions, or depending on the house it's in, it can take away from what I'm telling you. I know somebody who has moon in Libra and conjunct Pluto and Uranus, and I know for sure his mom was kind of like nuts and controlling and manipulative. She was tactful and beautiful, but like with him, very manipulative and controlling. It was crazy, but that was conjunct Pluto. So anyway, but I'm just saying though, like if you have your moon in Libra in general, you want a woman who is very tactful, who graceful, not somebody who's tawdry and classless and tacky. Need not apply. Okay. I would say if you have your moon in Libra, you really want to look at both sides of the situation. You could also be a little bit indecisive, but your thing is, well, what's fair? What's balanced? Well, let me look at her side and I'll look at my side. So if there's an argument, you could actually be one of those sides who's like, I kind of could see her side of this situation and I could see my side, and let's see how we can maybe build a compromise here. You know what I mean? So Libra is all about the balance. They're ruled by the scales, right? So they really, and what emotionally fulfills Libra, they cannot stand arguing. They cannot stand, and I think this is kind of a joke because I'm an Aries sun and I do attract a lot of Libras, but I will say it's kind of a joke that when you say that Libras don't like arguing, okay? Because it's an air sign, right? They like to do what's called mental jousting, okay? So these people can be emotionally sometimes manipulative, or sometimes like play a little head game or whatever, and not all of them do this, okay? But I'm just saying, Geminis can do it too, so can Aquarians. But I will say this, Libras can do this little head thing, and that's why a lot of Libras are lawyers, right? And they do fight in court, right? They want, balance in a situation, restoring balance. They're ruled by the Justice card in the tarot, right? So, but they get pissed off. Like if they're fighting with an Aries and they're doing this little head game bullshit, Aries is a very physical sign, not as cerebral. I mean, not that they're not smart, but Libra does not like when Aries gets fiery and mad and is like, yeah, like this, because then especially Libra moon. So Libra moon people really do try to avoid conflict. So if you're going to say, does my ass look big in this dress? Oh no, it's great. I love the red. But the black does make you look slimmer. That's totally a Libra comment. You know what I mean? Because they're going to give you the advice, but they're not going to want an argument. You know what I mean? So a Libra will avoid an argument. Libra moon feels the need to be in relationship all the time. They do not do well single. They're the type of people who will look for a relationship before ending the other one. Okay? Because they're like, oh man, I hate being alone. And it's true. The reason is because Libra, whether you're a Libra sun or a Libra moon, relationships are teaching you lessons in this life. Okay? So your whole thing is relationships. So the fact that you feel the need to be in one is, it's not no mistake. The universe planned it that way, some people, like, I'm an Aries and I'm like, can't you just spend some time alone? Like, what the heck? I don't get it because I'm an Aries, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, some people feel the need to always be in a relationship. And Libra will, now there are some really good Libras out there who are like, I really just want balance in the situation. I just want fairness, There's good and bad in every side, I'll tell you that, right? So I've met Libras who are game playing and manipulative, and they're operating on the lower octave of Libra, and I met Libras who are very sweet, nice. They just want balance. They don't want conflict. They just want to get along. Can't we all just get along, and they're looking to always do nice things for other people. They're very intellectual. It's an intellectual sign. They're really great at talking about relationships too. They can be great relationship counselors and lawyers, okay? And emotionally, it feels good to be, for them to be in harmony. They like to be in balance and in harmony. And if they're not in balance and in harmony, they feel like they don't do well with an outright fight with somebody, unless maybe it's in a courtroom. I don't know, but they're really good at seeing both sides of the situation. Okay, so so I covered the mom and all that. All right, so Scorpio, if you have your moon in Scorpio, the relationship with mom could have been very turbulent. The relationship with mom could have been very up and down. There could have been a love-hate thing kind of going on with mom. Sometimes mom could have been manipulative or controlling, right? Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes it's just kind of this love-hate kind of intensity with mom. You just like feel this intense craziness with mom, right? And when you're looking for a marital partner, if your moon's in Scorpio, you're probably looking for someone who's intense, who's passionate, and very sexual. You just need to be careful that you're not looking for someone who's also controlling, manipulative, and possessive. Okay? These people, trust is not given, it is earned. Okay? So when you have your moon in Scorpio, um, they don't trust people right away. And these are the best. Okay? My sister has her moon in Scorpio. She's with my sister in the other room, but I'll just tell you. They don't wear their feelings on their sleeves. They won't tell you shit, okay? So, like, they're the type of people that, like, if you go on a date with one, they'll tell you, they'll ask you a lot of questions about yourself, okay? Like, oh, really? Oh, what high school did you go to? Oh, really? Oh, really? Did you go to college? Or what is your interest, really? And if you reciprocate the question and say, well, what high school did you go to? Well, why? Why are you asking me? Why? You didn't go there, so what do you, you don't know anybody I know. They're very cagey about giving information about themselves. I'm telling you, they're very private and very secretive people. I'll tell you that right now. And my moon's in Cancer, and my sister's always like, you're always giving too much information about yourself. And I'm like, yeah, well, with you, you're like FBI agent secretive. You're totally opposite. So I will say to you, moon and Scorpio people are they emotionally just know shit though too. Like there's been times where my sister's like, I'm telling you, I smell a rat with this person, you gotta be careful. And I'm intuitive, my moon's in Cancer, right? But we tend to wear emotions on our sleeves, right? Moon in Cancer, right? Moon in Scorpio, man, they can just zoom in on shit and it's not what's said, it's what's not being said. They're very, very psychic as far as that's concerned. They really good at, their intuition is psychic on point. They can actually communicate with the other side if they're using that ability. And Cancer could be highly intuitive, moon in Cancer, just saying. But, yeah. So the husband could look for someone very sexual, very passionate, could be manipulative and controlling, got to be careful. But relationship with mom could be a lot of ups and downs, okay? You're going to have a lot of emotional transformations in your life, okay? So, I would say, and these people don't trust really easily. There's a song by Alanis Morissette. Alanis Morissette has moon in Scorpio. And she says, what is that song, You Oughta Know? And it's about somebody, I think, who she was dating who, like, cheated on her or something. And there's another song by Bryan Adams called I Want to Know You from the Inside Out. That's another thing. Moon and Scorpio people will be intimate with you quick because they know all the secrets will be revealed. Once the intimacy comes, they're like, I want to know you from the inside out. By Bryan Adams. Look at that song. It so relates to Scorpio. All right. So, all right. So if you have your moon in Sagittarius, right? Moon in Sagittarius people, their mom could have been from a foreign person from a foreign land. Their mom could be a teacher, writer, publisher. Their mother could be very smart, very educated type of person as well, okay? They are looking for, they could be in love with somebody who is a foreign person from a foreign land with moon in Sagittarius. They could be in love with somebody who's just philosophical, somebody different than them, different religion, different culture, something different, okay? People with moon in Sagittarius, when I'm going to tell you one thing I forgot to tell you. Libras, when they're mad, they try not to stay mad. They try not to have an argument because they can't stand that, When Scorpio's mad, if they're operating from the Phoenix, they will probably never forgive you. Or if they do, it'll be years and years later and move on. Or they don't get mad, they'll get even. Just saying. Whether if they're operating from the Scorpion level, they will just burn your ass. Be careful. Don't cheat on a Scorpio. You're screwed. Just saying. Especially a moon in Scorpio. If it is a moon in Sagittarius, these people like their freedom. They like to travel. These people emotionally feel fulfilled, learning things, traveling, learning cultures, philosophy, religions. They like all that stuff, right? But if you try to pin them down, like commitment wise right away, don't do that. They don't like that much. They like their freedom. They like to be emotionally, not that they can't commit, not that they can't, but let's say that it's the first time you're intimate with somebody with moon in Scorpio and you're like, so are we a couple? And he's like, you know, well, I mean, you need to get the details in advance because this person likes to travel, likes to be kind of a free bird. They're a fire sign as well. They can be passionate, and let's face it, they rule the Knight of Wands in the tarot, the love him and leave him card, okay? So they could love him and leave him, just saying. But they're passionate, they're philosophical, they're smart, they're intelligent. On an emotional level, they will fight for justice. What is right, what is wrong. So if they feel something is wrong on something, you know, they may fight for that, right? The way they go about that, though, Sagittarius is not known for its tact, okay? They're known for being direct, okay? Just saying. So if you have your moon in Capricorn, all right, this is a difficult placement. Scorpio and Capricorn are the most difficult to have your moon, just saying. So if you have your moon in Capricorn, your mom may not have been in your life, or your mom may have been working a lot, or she may not have been there to give you the nourishment that you needed, right? Your mom may have been a business person, or she just wasn't there in some way, shape, or form, okay? Now, I will say this. Men who have moon in Capricorn tend to go for women who are entrepreneurial, who have status, who have a good career, good place to live, a good car. Like, it's not like they're looking for... It's not as if they're looking for someone to take care of them. They're looking for somebody who's established. Like somebody who is established really makes them feel emotionally fulfilled because perhaps when they grew up, it wasn't like, I'm going to show you love because, remember, mom may not have been there, right? Mom maybe wasn't around. So these people may have felt emotionally fulfilled in a different way. Like, Dad may have bought the bike for you and says, well, you know I love you, Johnny. I bought you that bike when you were 5. Well, you know I love you, Susie. I got you that car at 16. Maybe these people may not have gotten the hugs, the kisses, and the, you know, public displays of affection. And they could feel really awkward when Capricorns tend to date Cancers, I'm telling you. So let's say they're dating somebody with moon in Cancer, right? Moon in Cancer wants the huggy, lovey, kissy type, right? Oh, I want the hug and the kiss and everything. Cancer's like, fuck the car. I mean, some of you may be thinking, you know, I want the car. But, you know, others could say, you know, screw the car. I want the huggy, kissy. I want the romance. I want the physical, you know? And the guy with the moon in Capricorn is like, well, you know, I love you. I bought you the house and the car. What the hell do you want? You know, I don't understand. Because emotional affection can make them feel a little awkward. Because they weren't really shown this, a lot of them weren't really coddled in that way because of a situation, or mom worked, or whatever it was, you know, could have gone on. Now, so they do tend to go for women who are business women, okay? Their mom could have been a business woman, right? These people, you know, and I'm not going to say that these people don't have emotions because it's not true. People say people with moon in Capricorn don't have emotions. They do. They're just very good at masking them, okay? They're very good at, they learned at a very young age to stay strong, stay tough, right? And these people, it's about survival in some way. I will say a lot of people with moon in Capricorn could be human resource representatives, you know? It's not emotion, it's about the bottom line, you know? I got to let 50 people go, because, you know, the company's falling apart, you know. I didn't mean to let you go, but I have to do this. It's a business decision. You know, these people who say it's not personal, it's business, you know, moon in Capricorn. It doesn't mean that they don't feel. It just means that their feelings are kind of like on the back burner sometimes because they're doing things out of business. They have more of a business sense, okay? and they're having, like, if you have somebody with moon in Cancer and expect them to be an HR representative and they have to fire 50 people, they're going to be an emotional mess. They're going to be like, I can't do this job. There's no way I can fire these people with families. There's no way, you know. Which is why Cancer and Capricorn go well together, because they're the yin and the yang. But I do get a lot of calls from Cancers who say, my Capricorn doesn't love me. And I'm like, well, and I know how Capricorn moons show love. Did they buy the house? Did they buy the car? Did they buy the ring? Did they buy the jewelry? Did they buy... they tend to just buy stuff for people. When they like you, they tend to just get you shit. That's the way it is. They do. I like you, I just bought you something. That's how they show it. They're not really the most, and they may feel a little bit awkward with the huggy kissy thing, but I think they like it because they tend to date a lot of Cancers, moon and Cancer people, because they like that affection that they're not used to getting. But when Cancer's not getting that back, they feel like the other person doesn't love them, and that's totally not the case. It's just they're not comfortable with showing it in that way. So anyway, gotta look at both moons. You gotta look at both moons, people. All right. So that's Capricorn. And it's not that Capricorn's mean or unloving. It's just they show it in a very different way. You know what I mean? So moon in Aquarius. Moon in Aquarius. Okay. Your emotions could be very up and down. You could be very detached with your emotions. You can turn your emotions off like a switch. Okay. The relationship with mom could have been very up and down. There could have been a lot of unexpected things going on with mom, and Aquarius does rule, it doesn't always rule bipolar or mental instability, but it can have that in there. But it could also just be there were very highs and lows when it came to situations with mom, or there was a lot of unexpected situations that came up with mom, you know, and my nose is itching, so I must be onto something. So, what else? If you marry a woman with her moon in Aquarius, you know, first of all, if you have your moon in Aquarius, you're going to need space. You need space and detachment and time alone. If somebody cannot give this to you, it is not going to work. You need your freedom. You may be liking to be part of humanitarian efforts. You may like to be the underdog and help people, even if it puts yourself in detriment. You could be very much into groups and organizations, make you feel good to be part of them, right? Now, you could also attract a woman who's a humanitarian, who needs her space. And, you know, so if somebody's too possessive of you, it's not going to work with your moon in Aquarius. No way. And if you have your moon in Aquarius and you're pissed off, you could just, there's no Dear John letter. You could just let somebody go and they don't even know what the hell hit them. It's the Tower moment. You didn't even get the Dear John letter. He's just out the door, packed his shit, and the closet's empty. That's moon in Aquarius. They don't tell you when they're up to shit. They're just like, see ya. Because when they see a red flag, they don't really want to have that long, drawn-out conversation. They're just like, bye-bye. I want to say of the air signs, Aquarians, moon in Aquarius, they don't really like the drama, okay? So they're just like, I'm just, you know, peace out, okay? I'm doing my own thing. And they don't care about being alone, by the way. They just don't care about being alone. They'll be alone. They'll be like, I'll be alone. I don't give a shit. You know, I'm not dealing with this crap. So that's moon in Aquarius, all right? They could be very independent, very humanitarian-like. They want a woman who's very independent, who could be humanitarian-like, but who also likes their space and values that they give the other person their space too. You know what I mean? And I forgot to say, when a Capricorn gets upset, they could drown themselves in their job. Forgot to mention that, okay? Capricorns, yeah, when they're upset, they could be like, yeah, I'm going to work forever. I'm just going to stay at work forever. And they may love their job. You know, it gives them emotional fulfillment. And I'll be honest with you, a Capricorn who's not successful, especially if your moon is in Capricorn, can be so hard on themselves. Like if they're out of work, out of a job, they just, that is not good for them. They just feel like they need to be successful and achieving. You know what I mean? So let's go to moon in Pisces. If you have your moon in Pisces, well, emotionally you are very compassionate. You're very, kind of like Cancer, you're very nurturing, but you're compassionate to the point where people could take your kindness for weakness, right? You need to make sure that people are taking you serious and you're not falling in love with love, and that you are looking at things not through rose-colored glasses, but how things really were, right? Moon in Pisces. Mother could have been very spiritual, very creative. On the positive end. On the low end of the spectrum, mom could have been into drugs and alcohol and spaced out and, not around very, like, mentally, like, somewhere else, Um, Men who have moon in Pisces are looking for a wife who they can take care of. They want to be compassionate to this person, but you got to be careful because you can also attract a wife who's a science project. Somebody who doesn't want to lean, leans on you but can't lean on themselves, has a drug or alcohol problem, has addictions. But I'm going to be honest with you, you can also attract somebody who is really spiritual, very creative type. It could go like beyond the spiritual. I mean, anything physical to the spiritual end of things. It could be quite beautiful. Moon in Pisces, right? Um, but as far as, you know, the way Moon in Pisces deals with anger, let's talk about that. Moon in Pisces, you have to be very careful. First of all, you have to be around positive environments because you soak up environments like a sponge. You are like psychic environment sponges. So you can walk into a room and just know the energy and cut it with a knife. You're like, I know exactly what's going on. Nobody needs to tell me, right? So, but you need to be involved in around positive people, positive environments at all times. It's very difficult because when people who have Moon in Pisces tend to go to drugs and alcohol because they feel like this world is so cruel and nasty, which it can be, harsh, and people with Moon in Pisces have this close to God nature where they want to be loving and compassionate to everybody. And if this isn't reciprocated, or if they see an injustice, or like the shootings that we see on the news, and people who hate other people because of their political beliefs or religious background or whatever it is, they find that just horrible. A lot of people find life just so cumbersome that they can retreat to drugs and alcohol and this just to tune out of life. But the best way, if you have Moon in Pisces, is to go to creativity and spirituality. What you really need to drown your sorrows in or your anger in is in your creativity or or in your spiritual awakening. You know what I mean? So that is the moon in the sign. Now, the moon in Pisces can also be the most romantic sign, right? They can be just the most romantic, and they can fall in love with love, and they just have to make sure they're looking at it clearly. You know what I mean? And they could be the most beautiful and spiritual sign too. You know what I mean? Just depends. So let's see. I will do a few tarot readings for depending on who, or if you have a question regarding your moon or your partner's moon, I can help out. Alrighty. Okay. She says, I need to redecorate my living room. All right. Moon in Capricorn. Moon in Scorpio. Yep. Moon conjunct Neptune. Very good one. What sign is it in? Ursa. What sign is it in? Because Moon conjunct Neptune, I wonder if you're sensitive to chemicals. People with Moon conjunct Neptune can have allergies, can have sensitivity to foods, can have ooh, you have it just like my sister. Hey, Aries love. Moon conjunct Neptune in Scorpio, especially. You are highly intuitive, psychic. Moon conjunct Neptune really doesn't care about that much possessions, okay? You're a very compassionate type of person, very giving type of person, but you can be very sensitive to chemicals, and these are the people who are, you get your injections or your allergy shots, or not allergy shots, but your immunizations, right? Could have reactions, okay? Reactions to foods, reactions to chemicals, and you could be more sensitive to medications. Moon conjunct Neptune big time, especially in Scorpio too. All right, Moon is conjunct Uranus. All right, what sign? You got to give me the sign, you guys. But Moon conjunct Uranus in itself is, your emotions could be up and down. You could react without notice. You could get pissed off and be like, oh, that's it, I'm done. Emotion shut down. There you go. All right, make sure your comment is in one thing, because I'm going up and down to figure out the sign, the house, and all that. All right. Let's see. Oh, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Scorpio, very psychic. Nurturing and attractive, motherly women. Keep up the great. Oh, thank you, Giorgio. That's great. Moon and Cancer, Sun. Moon in Scorpio, very intense. Intense type of a partner that you're very attracted to. Nurturing type of person with a sun. I have my moon in Cancer first. Okay, opposite Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn in the 7th. So we're just, okay, I know a lot of you want me to do your entire chart. I'm not going to do that. But I'm not going to talk about, and I know you want to talk about the oppositions and, okay, which can make you up and down with your moon's in Cancer and it's opposing Uranus. That can bring ups and downs into your emotions. And the fact that Neptune's in your 7th, I don't know if it's conjunct Uranus or not, but let's just stick to, because I can't see the entire chart in front of me. So we're just trying to keep it simple here for live stream purposes. Ooh, Moon in Aquarius conjunct your North Node. Now, Moon in Aquarius conjunct the North Node, you have to be very careful because North Node can be where your obsession is. So I wonder what house this, oh, it's in your 2nd house. All right. So you could be really obsessed about making money. And I want to say your North in Aquarius conjunct the North Node. So you may make money in an unconventional way, like astrology, like a commission-based job, you know, internet-based job, something like this. Had universe no return last year. So I'll be honest with you. Your mission in life is to make money in this life. It is make money through innovation. Aquarius rules innovation. With the moon there, it's also nurturing others. So you may be nurturing others through the internet. You could be nurturing others through maybe astrology, teaching them or helping them in some way, shape, or form. Is it just me or do I look orange? Let me see this little thing here. I don't know why. What's glamour? Oh, it sucks. I don't know why I look orange in this light. It's in my dining room. Oh, that's freaky. All right, we'll just stick to that. I'm like, I look orange. Could be with this lights that I got going on. A lot of Moon in Cancers here. Yay, I have a Moon in Cancer too. You're welcome, you're welcome. All righty. Okay, Moon in Capricorn. It's either going to be in your 9th or 10th. Or if it's right on the cusp, it means that, you know, it means that you could be, maybe your status involves teaching, writing, publishing, or something like this. Nurturing others through teaching, writing, or publishing through your status. I'd have to look at, you know, Moon in Capricorn for the most part. I would feel that accomplishment and status is going to be important to you. But if it's in the 9th house, you may consider home place that's long distance from you. It just depends. And you have 9th/10th house. It's either one or the other. But if it's on the line, it could be maybe you're doing teaching, writing, or publishing or something like that for a career. I have to look at your whole chart. All right. You're welcome. In regards to past life, I have a South Node in Taurus conjunct my moon in Taurus. Okay. Well, that means your mother was your mom in a past life, definitely. South Node conjunct your moon is your mom in a past life. And your mom, South Node in Taurus, conjunct my moon in Taurus. Your mom was in a past life. She was your provider. She created security for you in a past life. And your mom could also be a friend in this life if your moon is in the 11th house. And this is for Kimberly. Moon in the 11th house, mom is like a friend to you, right? Emotionally, you need nurturing. You need security emotionally, and you need to feel like a person is a friend to you, is important to you. Okay. Okay. See, when you say on the cusp of the 12th, is it the cusp of the 12th to the 1st or the cusp of the 12th to the 11th? Got to be clear. I got to look at, see, I can't do full charts in here because I got to see it. It's just like, you know, when I do YouTube and they say to me, oh, here are my placements and this and that, and they email me, and that's why I don't do those anymore. I really don't, because I would answer questions and people are like, no, my moon's not in Taurus. No, it's in Gemini. No, it's not in the 2nd. No, I got it wrong. It's in the 3rd house. And after I've already answered it, I'm doing it like 2 or 3 times before they get it right. And I'm like, what? I should have just pulled the damn chart myself. That's why I don't do those anymore. I'm sorry. But if you know your placements. All right. All right, let's see. What about Moon in Scorpio in the fourth house? Okay. Your family is going to be very important to you. All right. Moon in Scorpio. There could have been a lot of intensity with mom, a lot of intensity with your feelings when it comes to your home and family situation. A Moon opposition Chiron. Wow. So opposition Chiron would be in your 10th house. So you could feel a lot of wounding when it comes to your status in some way, shape, or form. But Moon in Scorpio, a lot of intensity with mom when it comes to the home and family situation. Home and family could be very important to you. And as far as a need goes, Moon in Scorpio in the fourth house, you need family and you need this impassionate intensity and closeness with your family and maybe with your mom. But sometimes when you have such closeness with someone, it can create some kind of dynamic like whenever a planet's in Scorpio, it creates highs and lows. This intensity that is just when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. It's just transformational energy. It really is. So that's any planet that you have in Scorpio, okay? Whether it's Venus, love is good, it's good. When it sucks, it sucks. Moon, it's with your mom and your emotions. Your emotions could be very, oh, I will tell you this too. You could be very psychic. Moon in Scorpio in their fourth house, very intuitive. You just know shit's going on when it comes to your family situation, especially. I will say trust is not, it's earned, not given. You don't trust very easily. And there's a lot of transformation going to go on in your life when it comes to your family. And I will say a lot of emotional intensity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it just could be just so close to your mom that it's like sometimes you can be so close and it's like, oh my God, this person drives me insane, So that could be as well. Yes, so much fixed energy, yes. Aquarius, Sun, Mars, and then Taurus, Moon, 11. So I hope this was... Scorpio moon is one of the not the worst. I'm going to say it's one of the hardest moons to have next to Moon in Capricorn. Because Scorpio moons tend to not trust very easily, and trust is earned and not given. And Moon in Capricorn tend to be like, I don't feel comfortable sharing my feelings with you. I feel comfortable sharing my possessions with you, buying you something, giving you security. But if you ask me with the Moon in Capricorn, I don't have the Moon in Capricorn, but if somebody who had their Moon in Capricorn is like, ask me to give you a hug in public, I want to do that big kiss on camera and publish it on film and like on Facebook, they're like, no effing way you're publishing a big kiss. Or you know how some people want to, you ever see these people who post on their Facebook page like they feel the need to prove their relationship? And that's not bad. Some people are just really happy they're with their partner, which I don't think it's bad because I have my Moon in Cancer and I'm like that too. But it's like, a French kissing shot, Moon in Capricorn be like, no, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. That's private. And, don't be doing all this crap to me in public. That's Moon in Capricorn. And Moon in Cancer is like, I don't get it. Don't you like me? I like you. I want the world to know. You know what I mean? So it's just different. She puts everything on Facebook. Well, here's the thing, Moon in Capricorn. It depends on what house that Moon in Capricorn is. If it's in the fourth house of Cancer, that can kind of nullify that a little. Or depends if that moon is conjunct anything, if her moon's in Capricorn. But you said her sun in Libra, she puts everything on Facebook. Well, sun in Libra is all about relationships, okay? So she's going to be all about relationships. Moon in Capricorn, she's going to be concerned about security big time, Moon in Capricorn. Maybe within those relationships, but I'm curious as to what house her moon is in. Because usually Moon in Capricorn is usually subdued about the physical part of things, but they do really care about security and stability. Clover, what sign's your moon in? Clover, okay. Cool. Moon in Leo. Hi, Emma. How are you? Oh, okay. Clover's Moon in Cancer. Yeah, I put everything on Facebook too. You know what's funny? Not everything like I used to. Like a crazy person. But here, I'll tell you this. Moon and Cancers tend to wear their feelings on their sleeve, right? Moon and Cancer, if they're pissed off, they'll be like, you know what happened today, friends? Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you what happened. This is what he did, and this is what he said, and da, da, da. And that's probably not the best thing to do. And they're very intuitive sign. Cancer is very emotional and intuitive, and their emotions change every 2.5 days. You know what I mean? So my sister, who has her moon in Scorpio, is like, why are you putting this up? What the hell? You know, like, don't, you know, she's very FBI agent secretive, you know what I mean? Whereas I am more like, my feelings are on my sleeve, and I could not hide them if you paid me. If I am pissed, you're going to see it. If I'm happy, you're going to see it. If I'm sad. Did you ever see that movie French Kiss with Meg Ryan? And she goes, I don't understand the French. You know, happy is a happy face, sad is a frown. Like, what's with the French? You know? And he's like, you need to be more French, you know. And she's just like, I'm an American, and this is how we are. You know, that's so reminding me of Moon and Cancer because we wear our feelings on our sleeves. Okay, what happens when one's moon is conjunct another's 8th house? Ooh, I have the 8th house Capricorn, and I'm dealing with I have my 8th house Capricorn. I'm dealing with Moon in Capricorn. They're super private, workaholic, and not that social. Well, that could be an emotionally intense relationship. If somebody's moon falls into somebody's 8th house, so if you're dating someone and their moon falls in your 8th house, right? That is going to be emotional intensity. That's like having Moon in Scorpio. So that person emotionally is going to have some ups and downs with you in their life. And, you know, because of intimacy, that's intimate relationship could be off the chain. A lot of, it could be emotionally very drawn to you on a very deep level. A moon in the 8th house, right? So if your moon falls in their 8th house, they feel very drawn to you on a very deep emotional level. So if you were to cut that guy loose or break up with him, man, that won't be cool. He'd be torn up. My moon's in Taurus, 2nd house keeps me calm. Oh yeah, that's very stable. Moon in Taurus, 2nd house. Do you, Hair of Winds, do you like buying stuff and keeping stuff? I'm just curious because the 2nd house is I acquire. So security could be very important to you, but also the acquiring of things. Moon conjunct Pluto. Oh yeah, Moon conjunct Pluto's. And synastry. Well, that's intensity. That's just like Moon in the 8th house. They bring passionate sexuality, intensity into your life, right? They bring emotional intensity and emotional transformation into your life, right? If you have Moon conjunct Pluto natally, this is somebody who's very intuitive, very psychic. This could be somebody who, they have to be careful that they're not, some of these people could be manipulative with their emotions too. Emotionally manipulative. They could play games too. It's not always air signs. But they can also be very intense, passionate, you know, with their feelings, right? It doesn't matter what sign the moon is. If it's conjunct Pluto, they could also have this feeling with the mom. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, you know, intensity with the mom. They can also feel like trust is earned and not given. They may not be as trusting. Doesn't matter what sign it's in, but if it's conjunct Pluto, that can give kind of that Scorpio vibe. All right. Yes, I do like to keep stuff. Hair Winds, that's so funny. Yeah. All right. So I hope you guys found this helpful. And ex had Moon conjunct Pluto in Scorpio, which is square Saturn. You know what's funny? If your ex had Moon conjunct Pluto, because mine did, Moon conjunct Pluto conjunct Uranus was crazy. That ex could be looking for a woman not only who's very sexual and deep, intense, and passionate, and there could be a lot of emotional highs and lows in the relationship. He could be looking for a wife like that. But his mom could also have been manipulative, controlling, and all that other bullshit that comes with that. You know, Moon conjunct Pluto is difficult. It's just like Moon in Scorpio. It's difficult. I'm not gonna lie, it is. Moon conjunct Saturn is difficult. It means that you feel restricted from mom. Maybe mom wasn't in your life, or you felt like you didn't get the nurturing from mom in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Moon conjunct Saturn is very difficult, you know? So, a supervisor told me a few days ago he couldn't read you. Oh, well, Taurus, if you have your moon in Taurus, they don't really come. Taurus people are men or women of very few words, but the words they do speak are very profound. they really don't like drama. Taurus is an earth sign, moon in Taurus is an earth sign. They don't really like drama. However, you do attract moon and Scorpio types. But they're not so much about the drama. They're very earthy, very practical. They care about security. But yeah, they're not moon and Scorpio people. Moon and Taurus people don't really put it all out there. They're not going to put everything on their sleeve at all. All right. It was very helpful. You're welcome. You're welcome, Georgia. You're welcome. Aries, Sag, and Leo in my chart. Well, that doesn't mean no man can comfort you. You just got it, Roxy. You just have to know. I mean, I don't know all your placements, but your moon is your hugest thing. That's your greatest need. So let's say that if you're with men and women, it's your Venus and Mars, okay? So with men, it's your Mars is your libido, how you're going to flirt, and Venus is what you're attracted to, right? If you're a woman, Mars is what you're attracted to, and Venus is how you're going to flirt, right? Well, let's say all that jives, right? You're attracted, and you're flirting the right way, and you're both are getting along. But if either of you are not emotionally fulfilled by the other person, it is not going to work, because the moon is your greatest need. That's why I was telling, like, I get a lot of clients whose moons are in opposite signs, and I'm like, this is kind of like the person's love language. You're learning the person's love language. What do they need? Cancers need nurturing. You know, some people are like, man, I can't handle the emotions of Cancer. Oh my God, they're just so whiny and needy and like they want to be lovey-dovey all the time and it's too much for me. And maybe that is, but Cancer needs someone who's willing to give that for them to be fulfilled. Just like Moon in Capricorn. Moon in Capricorn's like, you know, I need security. I need stability. I need to be financially secure. I need to be accomplished in my life. You know what I mean? And if they're not feeling that, you know, or if their partner wants this too much lovey-dovey stuff all the time, and they're like, oh my God, you got to meet each other in the middle. And if you can't meet each other in the middle, it ain't going to work. You're going to be like going separate ways. You know, like Journey song, separate ways, worlds apart, whatever it is. Yep. So you have to figure out the person's love language, and not only with the moon, but we'll do Mercury next. I'll do a live stream on Mercury. Mercury tells you how they communicate, right? Sometimes you can talk to someone and be like, what a freaking asshole, right? I do that all the time. Like, what an asshole. Like, I was nice. What the hell? And then my Aries sun kicks in, and I turn into an asshole, which isn't good, you know. But, you know, and I'm trying to watch that, by the way. But my Mercury's in Pisces. And if you have your Mercury in a water sign, you tend to get more offended by somebody who has their Mercury in like an earth sign or a fire sign or maybe even an air sign. Earth sign's not as bad. We'll go over all the signs. We'll talk about Mercury in another video. But some signs can be more blunt than others. And if you have your Mercury in a water sign where you're very much cognizant of how you come off to others, and you're really careful of like trying to watch others' feelings, and someone's not really careful of how your feelings at all, and they're very blunt and they're tactless and they say something so rude to you, this could really make somebody who has their Mercury in water like super upset and offended, you know what I mean? And then their moon's going to be reactive, right? Their moon's going to come out. How they handle their emotions is going to come out, right? I don't know if you guys watch Chris Crocker. He's so funny. I put a few of his videos on my Live Visions Facebook page, and he talked about having Moon in Scorpio. And he's like, if you want to know how somebody fights, don't fight with somebody unless you know their moon sign. Because if someone's got their moon sign in a sign that's going to show you, you know, or no, I'm sorry. He was talking about their Mars. We should talk about Mars. That's a good one. About people's Mars and how they fight, how they argue. That's a big one. So he was talking about their Mars and saying, you know, don't fuck with somebody if you know their Mars sign. If you know their Mars sign is in a sign that's like, do not screw with this person. They will mess your ass up. Whether it be emotionally, mentally, or physically, you know, you got to know people's language. And astrology teaches you their communication language, their emotional love language. Venus is how they love and how love plays out. Their Mars is their libido and their energy in life and how they fight and how they handle themselves. Mars is huge. Maybe we should do a Mars one next, guys. What do you think, Mars? Maybe Mars. I mean, Mercury's good too, but we should maybe do Mars. How people, like, how they handle themselves when they're pissed off. That's a good one to know. And yeah, I thought about that when he did his, like, he was making a joke about having Mars and Scorpio and be like, don't screw with me, honey. I was like laughing. But yeah, maybe we should do a Mars one. So anyway, I hope this is helpful to you guys, and we'll go, I think the next one that I think would be more fun is Mars and the signs. How people deal with, you know, their energy, with Mars energy, and whether they're pissed off or how they handle it in general. You know, some people are just downright crazy. Some people are more subdued. Some people are more calm. No, they can have the biggest storm in their life. Have you ever seen somebody who has the biggest storm coming in their life, and they handle it with tact and grace and dignity, and they're like, whoa, I can handle this. And other people are like, man, I'm coming for your ass. You know, so we got to know who we're dealing with, right? So anyhow, it's important to know people's Mars. So yes, Mars, grrr, right? Yeah. So my Mars is in a sign that you don't know what's up, because I have my Mars in Aquarius conjunct Jupiter. You know, so, but we'll talk about all the signs. We'll talk about all the signs, what to expect with Mars in each sign, and the houses make a difference too. So make sure to look at my birth chart calculator on the website. I put a new one up. It's really awesome. And it's going to actually refer you to another website, okay? Because I found their calculator to be great for people who don't know. And it spells it out, and I show you what to look for to find where your planets are, right? So Mars and Sagittarius. Oh, you like traveling. You like outdoors. Mars and Sagittarius usually likes travel, outdoors. They like animals. They like bungee jumping. Like, they're the type to like camping, skydiving, Mars and Sagittarius. But if you piss them off, Mars and Sagittarius likes the freedom. So if you try to like hold on to a Mars and Sagittarius, and they will fight for something that they feel is an injustice, or they feel like, I think of a judge when I think of Mars and Sagittarius, because they're all about, you know, philosophy and their beliefs and their thinking. They will fight for their beliefs. Mars and Aries, oh man, watch it. Aries will go into battle without even thinking. They'll go into battle. They'll be like, Aries would be like, it could be a dangerous situation. Aries is like, man, you know what? I went right in and kicked butt, took names. Aries, what does they say? Aries is the sign that will go where angels fear to tread and live. That is true. Do you know that a lot of military or police, firemen, soldiers, right? So, you know, a lot of these people have Aries in their chart, or Mars in those houses, 6th, 2nd, 10th, or Venus in Aries, or Venus conjunct Mars or something, because these people will go where angels fear to tread and live, because they have no fear. Aries is a sign, they're the child of the zodiac. They do things without thinking. But a lot of these, Aries is also war and aggression, right? So yeah, they can do things and be like, oh crapola, what did I do? You know what I mean? So that could be a bad thing. So anyway, we'll talk about Mars next. I think that Mars will be a good topic. Anyway, I hope you guys love this one, and I will talk to you soon. I hear my little one in the background, so, and I have a client I have to take soon. So I'll talk to you guys, and I hope you have a good one. Next one will be Mars, and how we act with our Mars. You know, conjunctions, and we'll talk about the sign it's in, and how we argue, how we handle ourselves. It's going to be a good one. All right, I'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye-bye.